Hope you're having a good day. This week we've had some talk about stress and anxiety, and I wanted to bring that to the table. Talk a little bit about some exercises that will help you manage or balance the stress in your life and or anxiety. And I'm going to share things that I've done personally and things that have helped my clients. I'll even share some personal stories with you. So first, let's talk about why this is so important. So you all know when you're stressed, it causes inflammation. The body cannot drop fat in that environment. It's just not conducive to fat burning. And I'll share a story with you. I was watching a documentary, and it's about how impactful this stress can be. So I was watching a documentary on Mr. Olympia. And the documentary was following three contestants that were competing for Mr. Olympia, and it was with their coaches up to like the weekend of the competition. So one of the participants, which I can't remember his name, but he was super stoked. He had worked so hard and he felt he had done so much improvement from the year before. He really felt he was going to win it this year. So on Friday night, they have a pre-comp kind of warm-up show, and he was quite taken aback with his competition. So not only did he really improve his physique, but so did his competitors. And he was a bit surprised at how much they had improved. And so the cameras following him and his coach back to the hotel, and he's just losing his shit. And his coach got really upset with him and said, "You need to calm down. If you don't rein in this stress, it's going to show tomorrow on the stage." So that can show you in a very short period of time how impactful stress could be. I mean, these guys have what? 3% body fat on weekend of competition, and coach is worried that he's going to show this stress the next day on stage. So super important. And sometimes you guys, if you're doing all the exercising with intensity, you're following your nutrition plan and you're sleeping well. Now, mind you, stress and lack of sleep tend to go hand in hand, and here's an indicator too. If you wake between the hours of 2 and 4, it's quite likely a stress or cortisol response. Okay. So let's jump into some things that can help you. And first, now, let's talk about listing out your stressors, listing out the things that calm you. So get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle on the left-hand side, and Twyla already shared that I shared this with her. So on the left-hand side, write down all your stressors, and that would include financial, relationship, work, even your exercise. Particularly strength training is a stressor. It gives you energy, but it is a stressor to the body. And then on the other side, list anything that calms you. Yoga, deep breathing, long walks, meditation, of course. Personally, for me, I do a jigsaw puzzle. I always have one on the go. It's the only time I shut my brain off. Adult coloring is very therapeutic. Okay, so you've got your two lists. Those two lists should pretty much balance out. Now, you will intuitively know if you're stressed, probably, but creating this list really articulates, puts it kind of in your face. Oh my God, look at this. I got 10 stressors and 2 things that calm me. Okay, there is an imbalance there. The next part 2 of the exercise, is I'd like to focus on that stressor column and see how, if there's any way we can reduce or balance those stressors. Because the scientists tell us stress, particularly caused by anxiety, comes from a place of misguided control. So things we think we have control over, but we actually don't, cause us stress and anxiety. So let's run through some examples. Let's say one of your stressors is that you can't lose weight, or the journey's not going as fast as you want, or whatever. So we pull that weight loss. And then I want you to think about, in that subject, all the things you can or cannot control that are bothering you. For example, the scale, number on the scale. You're going to have 3 columns. I can control, I can't control, I don't know. Because when you first go through this exercise, there might be things that come up to you that you're like, I'm not sure. Can I control it or just influence it? I don't know. So 3 columns to start. Can control, can't, don't know. Scale. Can you control it? No. If you could, we'd all change that number, wouldn't we? We'd get on the scale and we'd see the number we want. You cannot control that number. Feelings of frustration or annoyance or whatever you feel when you get on the scale and the number isn't what you want. Can you control that? Maybe it goes in the don't know column. But when you think about it, you are in full control of your attitude, of your perception, of the story you tell yourself. Because you can look at the number and go, I wonder why that's up. Did I have more salt yesterday? Did I not drink? You can look at it more analytically. What happened? Or maybe it's just a little blip. I won't worry about it until I see that pattern over a few days or weeks. Then you think, okay, I'm frustrated that I can't eat that cake. All right, you can't control what you eat, and you've got a choice to make. Are you not going to eat the cake, or are you going to? That's entirely in your control. I don't feel like exercising. I don't want to. I have a client right now that gets her steps in at 10 p.m. People, where there's a will, there is a way. And you can decide if you're going to exercise or not. So you would go through all the things, and these are just examples. So you guys might have more things on your list, but you go through every one and decide, can you control it or can you not? Now, remember I talked about that don't know column, because the first time you go through it, there might be stuff you're not sure of. So what I've done is put the list away, and the next day I go with it with a fresh pair of eyes and really ask yourself, can I control whatever's in your don't know column? And when you're finished, everything should be in the I can control or I cannot control column. If you can control it, then you need to be honest with yourself, have an honest talk. Janet, I know that I want that 3rd glass of wine. I know when I have that 3rd glass of wine, I'm going to eat too much. What are you going to do? What do you want? What's going to happen going forward? If you cannot control it, people, let that shit go, because it's only driving you crazy. And I'm going to share 2 stories, 2 personal stories. So I learned this technique or this exercise when I took my precision nutrition level 2. And at the time, my kids were smaller. We're a blended family, so we have 4 total. And I was, Joe was military and militant with the children, particularly the boys. And I was more of, let's negotiate, let's work it out. Like I used to assign the kids, if they were fighting, I would assign them an essay. And they'd have to go to their room and they would have to both sign off on what happened, what they learned. My son told me he would have rather had grounded me than sent me upstairs to break that essay. Anywho, Joe and I were always in a conflict because of our different parenting skills. And we had many, I would call them arguments. Joe says discussions, whatever. It's, again, how you look at things. So I'm going through this exercise of Joe, me, and the kids, and what I can control and what I can't control. And at the end of that exercise, I came to the conclusion, I cannot control Joe. He is not going to change. I'm not going to change him. I can have conversations with him, but he's going to be who he's going to be. I can't control that. And that changed the relationship to this day. It changed almost on a dime. And another thing that used to cause me so much anxiety was when the kids would come over for Christmas and we would prepare the meal and have the gifts and all the stuff, Christmas. 4 of them, blended family, it's a little complicated. And inevitably, there was someone who would lose their shit, go off crying, get angry, the yelling, whatever, family drama around the holidays. And I used to get so worked up. And I went through this exercise again and realized I can't control them. They're going to do whatever. All I can control is my response to them. And writing it down is different than typing it on a computer. When you do these things, write it down. The studies show us when you write it down, there's more connection between your actions and your brain. Like it can rewire you. Honestly, I went through this exercise and came to the conclusion that I can only do my best. They'll do what they can do. And you know what? It even stopped. Now the children got older. I mean, this is back when they were like 16-year-old girl, 18, 17, because the kids are like 1 year apart. So they're all like from 15 to 16, 17, 18. Like it's kind of crazy. Anyhow, you get my gist. So just looking at my notes, that was what I wanted to share in a nutshell. I hope that it helps somebody. Leave comments if you have questions, or leave questions in the comments. Tag me so I don't miss them. I hope you guys have a great week, and good luck to all of you in the competition, and I will see you next week.